Okay, I'm going to officially welcome everybody to the 3 monthly meeting for MTs and STs, or the leaders of the Tai Chi for Health Vision. It's so nice to see so many of you here, brought in different weathers from different parts of the world. I haven't received any notice, any suggestion, any question prior. So we have a free round. And of course, the latecomers can still come in. If let's do this. If you perhaps just so that we can sort of all hear each other clearly, I will ask Ernie to monitor, and anybody want to talk, if you raise your hand, either raise your hand this way or raise your hand with that reaction thing. If you click reaction in the bottom, there's a thing called raise the hand like my hand is. And then when you finish, you just, I think you click it again, it goes away. Oh, how do I get rid of it?
It says lower hand.
Lower hands, okay. Okay.
Same place.
Okay, my hand's gone. So, and then we can then take turns to talk, and other people can be mute so that we don't get that echo sound. Okay, that's all I want to say. I do have something to ask you, but I'm going to just stay back and let anybody start talking.
Pat?
So I today just got some feedback on the stage 1, stage 2 Tai Chi for arthritis fall prevention training. And if this is not the first time, but it just happened, so it's fresh in my mind, and I wanted to pass it on. You know, we were all kind of unsure about Zoom, and then we were all unsure about a blended training like this. And this gal had done an in-person training before, and she said she just loves the stage 1 plus stage 2. She said she doesn't think she'll ever go back to the other way because she gets so much more out of it. She said when she was live with the trainer, she couldn't like freeze, repeat, freeze, repeat, freeze, repeat. I took notes of what she was telling me. She loved that she could go back and work on the parts that she needed and not be in a big crowd. And she said, and whoever did the layout on stage 1 and planned out the order, she said, I think they were just brilliant. She loved the way that Dr. Lamb, she said, I love the way Dr. Lamb talks a little, teaches, and she thinks it's even better than our other training. So I just wanted to pass that on as a note of encouragement if anybody's been shy about helping with one of those. It's very positive feedback, every one of the ones that I've done. And I try to have enough posted that if someone doesn't feel ready, there's one in the future that they could opt into. And that keeps it constant, I suppose, is the way to say that. But anyway, thank you for that program.
Okay, thanks, Pat. Does anyone else have a hand to raise?
Can you see Elena's hand?
Liana.
Okay, a lot to look through here. Liana?
I know it helps you when I do the hand itself rather than
Yes. If
hand.
you put the hand, put the little hand, yellow hand up in the corner, I can see it now, Liana. Thank you.
Yeah, it's kind of like our programs. It really helps when we're more consistent. I've been having conversations about that lately, and I took the Tai Chi for beginner training with Dr. Lamb on the stage 1, stage 2. And I have to agree with what that person said. There was a certain I don't know, I just knew that it was a high level of everything that was being taught to me was coming straight from the source. That was helpful. But also just the way the program is designed. Like they said, you can stop it and pick it up again at your own pace and learn at your own pace. That's helpful too. But it brought up, because I've been talking about this with a few people recently about just the efficacy of the program and how we keep the program to the quality that is requested, or that we hope for as we get more and more professional. So I was just wondering, because as a senior trainer, I'm always trying to help the master trainers. Are there any tools to help the senior trainer, to help the master trainer to, keep the integrity of the program? That's pretty much it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Leanna. Dr. Lamb has his hand up to add a comment.
Thanks, Leanna. You are a little soft. I'm not sure you say, is there a tool for senior trainer to help master trainer, or is it a tool? So my answer is the stage one is a tool to put us together so that we all have the key ideas. And then also very good for agencies. If people want to know what we do, here's it is, they can go to, I'm happy to give them stage one so the agencies, the government body can look at what we actually do, that we have a system, we have evidence base, and we have a synchronizing. But anyway, the reason I raised my hands, I was going to welcome all these people, Phil from Belgium, Gurney from, are you in Canada or in USA now?
I believe Gurney's from Pennsylvania, USA. She is on mute.
Yeah, but she also goes to Canada a lot too.
Yes, yes.
Big, perfect Canadian. And Anita, Julie, and Helga from New Zealand. What are the new countries that and Sam from Perth. It's a beautiful place in Australia. So welcome everybody. I can't name you all, but I think I know you all. I feel so privileged to know so many great friends. So, okay, I'm going to let someone else talk. So that was mainly a big welcome to everybody.
Okay, the next one is Becky had her hand up next. Becky, go ahead.
Thanks, Ernie. Leanna, I have the senior trainers. We use the assessment form from Dr. Lamb's workshops. And so the MTs that have assisted him have that assessment form and could probably get a hold of it if they ask for it. So that sort of keeps everything consistent. And then the senior trainer then turns that in to me, and so I can review it and see what their comments are. So that's just what we do, what I do.
Yeah, good idea. Okay, thanks, Becky. Anyone else want to continue on this topic? Or add a new, okay, we did have a hand up here. Came up real fast. Let's see who was up and down. Someone had a hand up. Let me look again.
Lorraine.
Lorraine? Oh, Lorraine from Australia. Lorraine Norton. Go ahead, Lorraine.
Hello. I just want to ask Becky, I didn't quite get what you were saying. What was it that you were using with the senior trainers? I didn't quite get that one.
So with the stage 2, there's an assessment form that Dr. Lamb used at his trainings. And so I've taken it and maybe modified a little bit, but that way, when they're watching them, because we do break out into breakout rooms, just like he does at his workshops, but with the core movements, also with safety, with the teaching Tai Chi effectively with stepwise. So there's a little check off and where they can make notes and things like that.
Okay, thanks. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Becky and Lorraine. Anyone else? Dr. Lamb again.
Okay, just to answer that question, for all the master trainers, you can access all the stage 1 in the MT meeting place free. And with all the senior trainer, what I did is I tried to cut down so that it's just the cost of doing, even in Zoom and taping things, they all cost to set it up and get it done. So for all the senior trainers, I'll put it in the senior trainer meeting place to give you a 70% discount if you want to work on stage 1. And that will be accredited for as a senior trainer training as well, once you completed it. So 70% discount, just back to the really very much the cost, basic cost of having it done. So, and anybody who need a scholarship to have a free access to stage 1, email me personally. I'll be very happy to give it to you. But just don't pass those codes to anybody, because it does cost me a lot for the IT people and all that. So I'm happy to give people scholarships, but if you pass it to everybody, then I'm going to take everything away from that person, just so that I'm able to survive.
Okay, Bruce was next.
I was going to ask Becky if we can ask you for that assessment form directly. That sounds like something that would be very useful.
Hey, Bruce, just email me. You can email
Will
me and I'll
do.
be glad to forward it.
Glad to. Thanks.
Okay. Thanks, Becky and Bruce. Did you hear that? Becky would be glad to email that assessment form if you get in touch with her. Nuala was next.
Yeah,
Go ahead, Nuala.
I'd like to say that all our senior trainers have taken that stage 1 that Dr. Lamb has just mentioned for the 70% discount, and they really enjoyed it. They've all taken that and sent it in. So I just wanted to mention that that's a good idea. I think that just keeps them, those who have not had it before, it's a good idea to go through that, I think. So they really thought it was a great idea. And they updated on that as well, I think, Paul. That's how they updated this year, because they needed to update, and there was no updates as such. So they did that, and I think it's a great idea. I have nothing else to say on that, except I think I know it's difficult now for senior trainers training because we're not doing face-to-face, but when we did do face-to-face, I just do an ongoing training. It's like on-the-job training, if you like, at every workshop. So that's what I do, and chat to them and write down notes and have a word, have a sort of meeting at the end or before, and see what the problems are, if any. So I think it's a good idea to do that. You can do that on Zoom as well. Have a little, like a talk with the senior trainers to give them an idea what they need to do or would like to do, or have they got any ideas? It's a bit difficult now, I think, isn't it? Because we're not doing face-to-face. Well, I have 2 booked, but they may be cancelled. I'll have to wait and see. I've just had, did I tell you about arthritis? Do you have an arthritis foundation in the USA? You got the Arthritis Foundation? Well, the Arthritis Versus here in Scotland have just made 140 redundancies. So they've cancelled that workshop, just to let you know in case you hear anything. So in Scotland, they're almost going out. So the workshop was cancelled. Whether we'll have any continuation anywhere, I'm not quite sure. But I don't think it's quite the same as the Arthritis Foundation, but it's the same sort of thing, isn't it, as you have? But they're going out of business, if you like. They're just making redundancies, and there's no choice. they just have to have redundancy. So that's not a good thing for us really, because I've been doing that since 2011 in Scotland. So we'll have to just wait and see what happens now with that. It's just a little bit of news.
Okay, thanks, Nuala. We have a couple of others with hands up, and then maybe Bill Pickett would like to tell us a little about what's going on with the Arthritis Foundation USA. But next we had Lorraine Norton. Go ahead, Lorraine.
Oh, I just want to say I welcome any support for training for senior trainers. I am sitting in Newcastle. I know I relate to Hazel Thompson, master trainer, and Dr. Paul Lam, and all the other senior master trainers when I got a chance to. But I do welcome, I do support and applaud any support for the training of senior trainers. I believe some senior trainers are very well supported by their master trainer. They had opportunity to be together and to train others. But sometimes I feel maybe some. So I do say to everybody, welcome any support for the training and ongoing development of senior trainers. Thank you.
Thanks, Lorraine. Jocelyn, you're next. Did you have a comment based on one of the topics we've gone over just the last couple of minutes?
Yeah, so it's a little late past the topic, but when you
Yes.
were talking about how STs can help and with regard to the assessment forms, that worked really well with Tracy and I at the last workshops. She had an assessment form, I did. We both completed them and compared notes, and I found it very helpful.
Great. Dr. Lamb, did you have your hand up to?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Thanks. First of all, the Arthritis Foundation, Bill's going to talk to you about American Arthritis Foundation, but I have recently did some work for Arthritis Canada. They call themselves Arthritis Society. And I did a special video for them, which is really like an introduction of Tai Chi for arthritis for falls prevention, just 3 movements. And they have it in French and English, and I think they already posted on their website. And I will be sending it in my newsletter to everybody. So you can forward that link to as many people as possible. Essentially, it's a short Tai Chi for arthritis, introduce them to that, but with teaching in 3 sessions. And all this will be free on YouTube. So again, of course, Arthritis Canada support us as well by commissioning me to do that special video for them. And with Lorraine's point about senior trainer support, I really appreciate that we senior trainer just as important as master trainer. We're just doing different jobs, and absolutely, I would like to suggest that if your local master trainer was too busy, contact somebody nearby or contact me. I'll do my best to support you or refer you to somebody who can. And as far as the part of the training, just to make it clear, if you do my stage 1 and complete it online, the completion certificate, send it to me, that will count as your complete update. So and also we'll give you some personal feedback as well.
Okay.
Oh, and since nobody raised hands,
Okay, yeah, Bill
I also
Pickett.
want to welcome where's Kurti from Sri Lanka. If you guys haven't been Sri Lanka, I can highly recommend it. When I first visited, because of Ronnie, and I got to meet Kurti, and the people are so hospitable, and the place is so wonderful. And I just thought, I've been in India, I thought it would be similar, but it's not. They are different people. They are just so amazing. I can tell you a story that I was so moved. I was out there on the beachfront restaurant, enjoying seafood beachfront restaurant. And I saw this woman who's a homeless woman. She walked up to the restaurant and yelled to the waiter, and the waiter smiled to her, brought her a big bottle of bottled water and gave it to her. And this is what happened everywhere. People are just generous and nice, no matter to who. And that really moved me. So Sri Lanka is a good place to visit. So many beautiful things and ancient ruins. The people is really nice. So thanks, Curtis.
Thanks for that comment.
Okay, thank you. Bill, did you have something you wanted to add? Bill Pickett?
Yeah, they had mentioned the status with the Arthritis Foundation in the States. Actually, we just finished been going on for several years. It's a project with the Arthritis Foundation to actually get the link for all of the instructors from Dr. Lamb's website actually embedded in a link on the Arthritis Foundation website. And they're also using some special videos that he created just for the Arthritis Foundation here in the States. And that you can find this under their exercise programs in the National Arthritis Foundation website. So, we've made quite a bit of progress. It was delayed for a little bit because of the world situation, but anyway, lots of good things are going on. Thank you.
Thanks, Bill.
Thank you, Bill.
Hey, maybe put
Good
that
work.
website link into the chat box.
I actually think it was put in Dr. Lamb's newsletter.
Oh,
maybe
wonderful.
within the
Okay.
last couple of months ago.
Okay.
I think it was published.
Yeah, Adrian's got thumbs up, so she
Okay.
saw it. Thanks, Adrian, for thumbs up. Okay, we have several topics going. Anyone else want to comment?
Quit mute.
Leanna, go ahead.
This is more technical. I've been running a Zoom class for Tai Chi for Energy for a couple weeks now. And I wanted to share one thing that we did. I'm working with Pamela Mensa, and I know some of you know who she is. She's a wonderful instructor in our local area down here in Gilroy. And can you hear me okay? I just realized I might be talking too soft again because I don't have my earbuds in. Anyway, she suggested that when I'm waiting, because I'm asking people to come in 15 minutes early to make sure that I can see them and that their video and their audio are working. And so just for the first time today, I started playing the Tai Chi for Energy YouTube video that you have as an introductory video, Dr. Lamb. And so I do it with no sound just because the sound would be interruptive of us talking, but just all the pictures. It's Pam's idea. She just said it would be so much more welcoming rather than having people standing around. So I tried it for the first time this morning, but what happens is that because I'm the one running it, everybody is really small at the top of my screen. And what I'm wondering is, if I were to get a TV, would I be able to see everybody, or would it still be showing Dr. Lamb's video as the main part of the screen and everybody else being small little icons? Thank you.
Does anyone have a technical answer to Leanna?
I don't know. I'm on my phone, so I don't know how to raise my hand. This is Anita.
Okay. Anita, go ahead.
Hi.
And Jocelyn will be next. Okay, Anita, go ahead.
Okay. If you take up in the right-hand corner, even when you're doing a video or projecting like a PowerPoint, and you go and click on gallery, it will have a little icon or a little thing on the corner that you can pull the gallery down so you can see them, but it will cover your view. The other thing is you can do a second monitor, and that might be helpful.
Okay, thanks, Anita. Jocelyn?
Yeah, I
Did you
just have a question maybe for
Okay.
Bill. I remember that we used to get these regular or quarterly or monthly reminders from Dr. Lamb about putting in our classes or whatever our name and location for the Arthritis Foundation website. But I haven't seen, are they still doing that? Because I haven't seen anything for a while.
That's
No,
for
that,
Bill.
yeah, that actually has been replaced by the new feature. If you go to the Arthritis Foundation website now, it automatically takes you to the TCHI website to the instructor listing.
Oh,
You can search directly from there. That's what that was replaced with.
oh,
That's
that's
been a pretty
great.
big part of this project.
That's much easier.
Yeah, it is. Oh, it's much more streamlined than it used to be.
Yeah, fantastic. And then they get more information too.
Correct.
Great, thank you for all that work.
Adrian, did you put your hand up? No? Okay, Lorraine Norton?
Just going back to the point about training on Zoom, I admit I haven't done any training on Zoom. I believe if some trainers who have, I believe some people use a laptop as well as a television monitor. And I wonder, anybody want to expand on that? Would that allow you to see the participants better, or is this still the problem, either showing the speaker or showing the participant in small squares? I haven't got an answer. I just want to hear other people's experience. Thank you.
Did everyone hear Lorraine's suggestion or wanting to know who else has experience?
It looks like Helga
with a
might help.
television and a laptop. Okay, Yasmin?
Hi, everyone. Yeah, actually, when I assessed Master Amatullah during the workshops or some trainings, she uses a TV, and that helps really with seeing everyone. The squares of each attendee will be much bigger, and we can hear them pretty well. So it was a good idea to use it on TV.
Helga?
Nina?
Yeah, I
Okay,
use the TV.
Helga
and-
next and then Nina. Helga, go ahead.
Yeah, okay. I've got a laptop and a TV, and that's how I've set it up right now. So all I do is I take the HDMI cable that's plugged into the television and plug it into my laptop. And that gives me the pictures on both sides. But one thing to remember, if you do that, make sure your sound is up on your television. I sometimes have that problem that the television is quite low, and then I think, why can't I hear? So make sure the sound is up. And you know, the question before about the little pictures on my laptop, on the top right-hand side, there is a little icon that says view. And so at the moment I have it on gallery view. So everybody is there. The whole screen is full of little pictures of people. And of course, over there on the television, I see it bigger. Or then you can, you know, click on speaker view, you know, and then you are big and everybody else is small. I think that was the question before. So, you know, having it on gallery view, you see everybody, you still see yourself also. But it seems to be, you know, I have different classes on Zoom, and, you know,
with some people, depending on how many people are there, you play around a little bit between speaker view and gallery view. And yeah, it seems to work quite well that way. But you know, an HDMI cable is a good idea to just bring it across.
Okay, thanks, Helga. Nina, did you want to add to that?
Well, I was going to make Helga did pretty much said everything I was going to say, but the HDMI cable. One thing I find that's helpful for the participants on Zoom is if I spotlight myself, then it takes it off speaker, so I'm the biggest one from them. But in order for me to see them bigger, once I spotlight myself, I go back up to gallery view, and then everybody, all my participants become bigger. So, but on their end, they can see little, the other participants as small boxes, and I'm the only big box.
Okay, thanks, Nina. Leanna, did you want to add to that?
Yes, that was all really good feedback. I've definitely, I have a 17-inch laptop. It's a gaming laptop. I purposely bought that when I started doing Zoom. So like right now, I can see 25 squares. That's the maximum that I have it set to. But you know, they're all really small. That's why I was wondering if, while I'm running Dr. Lamb's video, if I had the television hooked up to it, whether I'd be able to see bigger icons of people on the TV. Basically, there's just a strip and not that many of them because Dr. Lamb's video takes up the full screen when I do that. So that was my basic wondering, because I don't have a TV that I can hook up yet. And I'm thinking about going out and buying one because I do have one person helping me right now, but they're not always going to be available to help me for these classes. Thank you.
Thanks, Leanna. Dr. Lamb, did you have a comment to insert here?
Yeah, I was going to say that Zoom also have a lot of instructional videos, and the thing is to don't get frightened with it. Just try it, and if you're not sure, Zoom with your friends. Zoom offers Zoom lessons, free lessons. That's how I learned. When the pandemic started, I didn't know anything about Zoom, so I offered people in my school free Zoom lessons. And then, of course, I asked and I look at the videos, and I'm lucky to have IT people who work for me, and they help me as well. So I think you learn as you go. It's really user friendly. Yeah, just a nice venture. Just go for it. Try that out.
Thanks, Dr. Lam. Helga?
Yeah, just a comment to Liana. So Liana, what we talked about before with the view, you know, to change it from speaker view to gallery view should give you the 25 pictures rather than the one. And the thing with the television, in my case, I've got a sort of a medium-sized laptop, and the 25 pictures are on the laptop, and the same 25 pictures are on my television. But because the television screen is a lot bigger, I can see it a lot better. That's the only difference for me. I don't know whether you can set it up in a different way, but that's what it is for me.
Thanks, Helga. Virginia? You're on mute, Virginia. There you go.
Okay. I had two questions. One is that when you're doing this with the screen, the laptop, and then you're doing it to the TV, do you have to have a different camera, or can you use your laptop camera? And okay, that's good. The other thing I was going to make a comment on is that we just did a recertification workshop with Linda Ebeling, and Bruce was one of the senior trainers that helped with that. And I know one of the things they did was if there were people that, as they were doing their recertification, needed some special help with the form, the master trainers were seeing them on individual or small groups. I know we broke out into groups, you know, to rooms during the training, but they were going to take them individually and work with them. And I think that is really an advantage, because when you're in a large class, let's say of new people becoming certified, and you have like 25 people in your class or 20 people in your class, while you can try to work with them individually, it's really hard to try to get to everybody. And I'm thinking this idea that now with this kind of training with Zoom, the senior trainers can take some of these people individually and really work with them a little bit better than they could in a large class. And well, hopefully we'll get a little bit better carryover.
Thanks, Virginia. Pat, did you want to add to that?
I was just giving it a thumbs up because I think that is a major advantage. That's a major positive point to doing it on Zoom. And we get more comfortable with it. Even the students, the participants are getting more comfortable with those breakout rooms too. And it's nice private feeling.
Thanks, Pat. Virginia, did you have more you wanted to comment on the same? No, she's on mute. Dr. Lamb, go ahead.
What we're talking about just now, it's a lot to do with what's in my mind. I want to ask everybody, what is your key, your method, your ways to overcome the pandemic, the lockdown, the depression, the emotional, the life changes? What is your best method? And I want to share mine first. This morning is one of those mornings that's really hard for me. You know, it's been a long time. I miss you guys. I love to work with you guys. It really helped me. Also, I live in this house where, you know, all the memories for nearly 40 years. I'm now moving to an apartment, downsizing. It's pretty stressful. So I make myself, I virtually have to drag myself downstairs and do a full long Tai Chi practice. Every day I have a routine, minimum of 1 hour. So it was really an effort to make myself do it, stop thinking about the house. And after an hour and 20 minutes, I feel much better. So that is what I'm trying to do, is I really stick to my routine of morning practice, except exceptional times. The second thing that I find really helped me is I'm trying really hard. You know, when you lock down, you have to interact with people close to you, people you see every day in your bubbles. And sometimes that can be really challenging. The people who are close to you can be most challenging for you to get along with. And I found that by helping to understand, I have to listen first. Listen to what he's saying. What's that gesture mean? By listening and understanding, it's helped me to connect better. Listening to the incoming thoughts. I talk about it all the time, but it's always a challenge. Sometimes you just take over. So I listen and I try to, and I think that really helped me to become better, or to cope better with people close to me. So that's my two key points that I trying to work. And of course, I try so hard to do Zoom and meet you guys, which you can see. So I'd love to hear how you cope with and what you gained from the lockdown.
Lorraine, do you want to respond to Dr. Lamb's?
Yes, I just want to join in on this topic. For some reason, I've got an echo. I am a gardener. I know not everybody had a good fortune of having a garden, but through gardening, I suppose even if you haven't got a garden, you live through 4 seasons in the year. The 4 seasons in the gardener tells us whatever happened at the downtime, there is spring. There is the next season coming around the corner. Never fails. Whether you have winter, you had the rest, you are all snow deep, you couldn't get out, you couldn't do as much as in summertime, but that's the time for your body to rest and reset. And when springtime comes, when warm weather comes, everything grows and everybody goes about attending to things. If we accept this is the cycle of things, this is a cycle of life, then this downtime, we have all learned something new. I marvel that all of you reorientating and pivoting onto Zoom to do your business. I haven't done that simply because most of my participants, more than half of them, struggle to use a mobile phone. So I know I do not want to find a new group of clientele, because when I set up my work 6 or 7 years ago, I decided that population is a not well-served population as far as exercise and wellness and fitness. So I decided my market or my clientele, the people I want to work with, are the older old, those who are very much at home, those who are living on their own, those who do not have a lot of access to other things. And my exercise class, be it Tai Chi or the other type, it is their social and their well-being is their going out. So I stayed with that client market and I did not orientate onto Zoom as yet, simply because I'm not as confident nor has the technical support like Dr. Lam has. But what I'm going to say is, if you look at the season and look at the cycle of life, I had a granddaughter. That's our life eternal. We have children, we teach people. What we believe in, what we do, lives on in other people. John Goff, our trainer, just passed away. But I learned that much from John Goff when I attended his workshop. I continue to do what he taught me to do. So the season and the garden teach us something failed, but try again and you will succeed. When there is a downtime, do something at the downtime. You guys all have learned to run your classes and mixed form classes on Zoom and face-to-face. I applaud you all for doing that. And that's what you do with a difficult time. My parents, my late parents lived through difficulties in the 30s in China, difficulty in the 40s with war and poverty and famine, and difficulties in the 50s in change of political scene in China and everything. They survived. They lived to late 70s for their time is good. And so what my point is, whatever difficult time we have now, it will pass. Use that time wisely. Use that time to do something that you can do in this time, right? And so I support what Dr. Lam is saying, that we are learning, training, just learning something new, learning something we could learn in this time. That's all. I'm sure we'll write this out and we'll come out, every one of us have new skills and a much better trainer and a much more sophisticated Tai Chi practitioner. Okay.
Well said, Lorraine. Thanks for your inspirational message. You're getting love heart messages already. Thank you so much for that. Maybe it's something you could put into a newsletter article, possibly, for Dr. Lam. Wonderful. Thank you. And for your encouragement. I saw Helga briefly, but I believe Deborah Dunn Yonke has her hand up. Deborah, go ahead.
I'm going to defer to my friend Helga. Hers was up first.
Because I already spoke before, I took my hand down to let you speak first. I can speak after you if nobody else raises their hand.
Ooh, nice
There's
move,
time
Helga.
for both of you. There's time for both of you. Deborah, you want to go ahead?
Sure. I just wanted to share on Dr. Lam's topic. I have some personal exhilarating things happening right now. But what I'm finding is so really cool is all of us with our own personal Tai Chi already have something to share with anybody. So it doesn't have to be a personal class. And I say anybody because what became really interesting, also a part of a sorority. And they're having a heart healthy month next month, and they asked me about doing some breathing exercises and Tai Chi. You may belong to other civic or other organizations that would love to be a part of the gifting that you have. And and you don't have to be orthodox. It's not, Dr. Lamb's TCA must meet the requirements. But what you're doing is you're introducing a passionate that you love with those that you love. And you'll be surprised at how you will be excited at their excitement of learning something or being introduced to something new. So it's social. It's also a wonderful, effective way of building future classes, as well as making alliances with organizations. So like in the United States, they have Rotaries. There's other civic organization, churches. But Zoom is also a great way to connect in a different way with organizations that you're already a part of in a very personal way. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Deborah. Very inspirational, great ideas and suggestions. Thank you so much. Helga, did you want to add to that, or did she speak for both of you?
She did in a way. I just wanted to add some my own personal experience. I'm a real social butterfly. I'm very rarely home. So here comes COVID, right? And my life just turned totally upside down. And I thought, okay, what am I going to do with this? Will I just get cabin fever at home? And I thought, okay, no, I'm going to turn this around and see it as a blessing. So what Dr. Lamb is doing is very much what I have been doing all along, downsizing. We are still in the same house. We are looking for a smaller place. But I took this opportunity to get on top of paperwork filing. My paperwork that I filed was 15 years old, right? And I got on top of all of that. And I brought so many things to the secondhand stores and everything. The other thing that was really challenging, my husband and I are very rarely at home at the same time. And our daughter lived overseas and she's adult. And so she came back because of COVID. So all of a sudden there was the three of us in the house and we have very different personalities. So I did remember in a workshop, I think it was with you, Dr. Lamb, but maybe it was with one of the master trainers. Somebody said, listen with your eyes and with your ears and with your heart. And so I took that heart bit and thought, okay, I'm just gonna listen with my heart. And boy, did it turn everything around. For me, all of a sudden there was compassion involved. And it's just, for me, it changed the relationships in the house from being always a little bit on edge to just listening with your heart. And it all went so much smoother and it still does. And I thank you for that blessing. So there's always blessings in disguise. I mean, it's a very hard situation, but as Lorraine said, this too shall pass. And we take the good things from it.
Wonderful sharing, everyone. Thank you so much for your remarks. Now we're getting love hearts in our little boxes here. Thank you so much, Helga and Deborah and Lorraine and everyone. Lorraine again.
I don't mean to be talking all the time. Just I want to say, in the world of Zoom, I actually had more opportunities to join in on things. Why? Newcastle is not a capital city. Sydney is. And for me to get to Sydney for things is a 2 and 3/4 hour train journey, plus the waiting time on platform, getting to places. So it takes me 3.5 hours to get to Sydney to go to a meeting or to a training, or had to go the day before and sleep overnight and attend a training and scramble home the next day late at night on the train. So, but with Zoom, I actually was able to join in a lot of things. people start in Sydney, they start putting on all the training, all the information session and all that. I can join in dance classes. I can join in other people's health talks and all that. Whereas when I had to go in person, I most probably would have to forego the hour in Sydney. I can't go anymore because Newcastle is so the second largest city, but nonetheless, everything happens in the big population center. Everything happens there. Really, about in 100 things, there might be only 20 things happen in Newcastle. 80 things will happen in Sydney. So at the moment, I can join in a dance class on Monday morning. I had unlimited free access to some exercise classes from America or from Australia in Sydney and all that. So in some ways, I don't want to live in lockdown or semi-lockdown all the time. In some ways, in some things, I'm better off. Okay. Oh, shut up.
No, wonderful. Thank you, Lorraine. Bruce, did you want to add to that?
Although I do have a Tai Chi practice, and a Qigong practice, I also enjoy some some more vigorous cardio. So I do a cardio practice 3 times a week, not running so hard that I can, I'm at risk falling over, but I do cardio, Pilates, and meditation. And I find that those things, in addition, I think they all make a global whole for me. And I'm 77 years old. I'm still going strong. So I think it's important to do other physical activity as well. Like Lorraine says, gardening is good. Can't garden when it's 20 below, but so my 2 cents worth.
I can add something to what Lorraine said as well. The way we've been reaching people in rural areas in the last couple of years, we haven't been able to do before. But for example, I'm hearing from a woman in Montana, close to Glacier National Park, almost to the Canadian border, who is pretty much isolated, but not any longer because she has contacts with us this way. Reconnected with a woman in Whidbey Island, which is near Seattle, off of Puget Sound. She's reconnecting with us and very grateful for the workshops that were earlier this month. Dr. Lamb, she really appreciated joining in with Zoom 73. Someone in the reservation in the United States Southwest area, Albuquerque, has connected with us. So they're not feeling so isolated anymore. So it is definitely global. I'm more connected with what's going on in the US, of course, but I'm very thankful that Nuala has helped me join in with what's going on the other side of the pond, we say, with our forums and so on, and seeing many people from the other side of the world today, right now. So thank you. It's wonderful getting to know you. Deborah. You're on mute, Deborah.
There it goes. There's a little delay here, sorry. I just wanted to say this quickly because it was really helpful in giving me courage to ask for help. And sometimes in your asking for help, it could be from your other Tai Chi friends, or as well as those connections that you have with your other organizations or friends and family. It's in asking for the help, say it's a Google Doc form, like it was in my case. It doesn't have to be a Tai Chi person that does that, but you also have a chance to share, okay, what are you doing the doc form? What is it for? And share your interest in your Tai Chi. But it doesn't have to be Tai Chi. It could be anything else that you're interested in. Your gardening, the wonderful other physical activity that my new friend Bruce was talking about. and other things, but it's just about being connected. You'll find that you're more connected than not the more you ask. And you'll also discover that in Zoom, and just like in any environment, it's always progressive. It's like our phone iOS systems. They're constantly being updated, so we're always learning. And none of us is never really an expert. So the more we share, the more we come to learn, and learn maybe even faster. And how easy it is to stay connected. As well as even when you have hiccups, that's also a part of it. So you don't feel so isolated or afraid, am I the only one that doesn't know, kind of thing. So it's all good. Thanks again for listening.
Thank you for sharing. Thank you so much. Narelle? You're on mute.
Yeah, I worked it out. I'm not like a lot of other people, a very social person. So this time has not been as traumatic for me because I quite enjoy being alone. I don't panic about it. I quite enjoy the time by myself. So it's been quite nice for me. I found myself, apart from my continuing the Zoom classes and some personal classes, I found time to enjoy and re-establish some of the hobbies and crafts that I used to do and take up that creative side more. So my guitar has come out, and my shoulders, when I'm doing it, I'm thinking of relaxing the shoulders, songing the joints. I'm doing that as I'm playing the guitar. With my flute, I'm thinking more of my breathing. I'm going for my dantian when I'm breathing, playing the flute. I'm painting, and I'm just recognizing and seeing what's happening in my mind and how that relaxes me. And then I have just taken up a little more photography and delved into macro photography. And that wonder that my yard, I think I've looked at every square centimeter of my yard and discovered some amazing things, plants that I didn't even know were there. I haven't planted them, but these beautiful orchids have just come up. These native orchids are just popping up everywhere. And that has been something that I have felt as a positive that has come out of all of this. And I'd rather focus on that positive part, than have to worry about all the incessant information on the news and all of that just drowns us. That's all.
Thank you, Narelle. It kind of makes me think of the saying, take time to smell the roses. That's kind of what we're doing in Discovery. Yes. And so on. Yeah, we've had sign language going over here with Adrian. So encouraging to what you're saying. Just, like thumbs up, but she's really doing. Thank you, Adrian. Really positive to what everyone has been saying. I mean, it's a wonderful time. We've been together for an hour. Dr. Lamb, do you want to continue on? Do you want to summarize what we're doing? What we're saying?
I want to, yes, sure. I would love to just to thank everybody for being here. And everybody's contribution about how we not just coping, but actually taking advantage of the lockdown into a positive turn, that was really helpful. And I think I feel very fortunate, blessed that I have so many friends that I can connect with. And I like you to feel the same, that we are so lucky that we have this community where we can share and get support from friends. And I think eventually human is very social. We need connections. And we are so lucky already have a setup, have friends that will work together. And now we can anytime connect with each other, share our thinking, and share our coping mechanism to turn the lockdown into something positive. And I'd like you to know that you are always welcome to email me. I'm really happy to be your friend, to answer your email. And as most of you would know, I answer every email that's direct to me. If you don't get my answer in over a week or two, then it's probably gone to this anti-spam folder. But I'm really happy to be a friend. And if there's anything I can do to share with you how we turning things into positive, well, I'm really happy to. And the other thing, of course, the forums is another opportunity we can connect with people. So, and make your own group, like Lorraine was saying, connect with other people, and the nature will change. This is time for us to gather our energy, and then it will grow and blossom. So I'd like to again thank everybody. Thanks all my colleagues, Ernie and Pat and Becky, everyone that make Nuala, everyone who make this connection so wonderful, and everybody for coming. I'm going to officially conclude this meeting. Feel free to continue with emails, and I will see you next 3 months, preferably in the forum, which is coming on the next week.
Thank you, Dr. Lamb.